Various now famous faces have made appearances in Bond films early into their movie careers. Although technically not cameos, they're interesting all the same. Some of these are well known, but some may have passed you by. I've certainly discovered a few new famous faces in my research for this. Way back in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Joanna Lumley appeared as the English girl in Piz Gloria. This was one of her first movie roles, but she's gone on to appear in no end of productions over the years, but most notably in The New Avengers alongside Patrick Macnee, himself a Bond veteran, and the comedy series Absolutely Fabulous. Veteran actor Charles Dance also appeared in a Bond film early into his illustrious career, appearing as Klaus in For Your Eyes Only, one of Christatus's henchmen who takes out Bond on the ski jump and bests him on the beach when trying to save Liesel, before receiving a spear to the back. In more recent years, he's best known for his role as Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones and as Mountbatten in The Crown. Although interestingly, he also starred as Ian Fleming in the biopic Goldeneye in 1989. Another actor from For Your Eyes Only was Cassandra Harris. Although she's not overly famous outside of her role in For Your Eyes Only, she is notable as being Mrs. Pierce Brosnan at the time of filming, but she tragically lost her life far too young due to ovarian cancer. Octopussy saw the acting debut of Vijay Amritraj, starring as Vijay. Although quite a large role and therefore someone who can't be missed, he was better known as a professional tennis player off-screen. His role in Octopussy was an attempt to kick-start an acting career, but things didn't take off, and he only has a few more credits to his name. Dating A View to a Kill star Grace Jones at the time of filming and joining her on set, Dolph Lundgren was encouraged by Jones to audition for a role in the film. He makes his film debut in the very minor role of KGB agent Venz, but will go on to appear in his iconic role of Ivan Drago in Rocky IV the same year. With the breakout role in Circle of Friends in the same year, Minnie Driver shows up in the small role of Irina, one of Tarkovsky's mistresses in Goldeneye. She would end up being nominated for the Best Supporting Actress Academy Award 2 years later for a role in Good Will Hunting. Tomorrow Never Dies has an enormous amount of acting talent on display. In particular, the 2 British warships shown in the film houses lots of up-and-coming British actors. Gerard Butler makes a very brief appearance as the leading seaman on the HMS Devonshire at the beginning of the film, an actor who has obviously gone on to much bigger things since. The HMS Bedford features the rest. Pip Torrens appears as the captain. Although he had lots of television appearances under his belt, he was still relatively new to film. He's gone on to appear in all sorts since, with The Crown, Preacher and Poldark likely to be shows you'd recognise him from. Another Crown alumni, Jason Watkins, appears as the principal warfare officer. His third film, he has since made a name for himself on various TV dramas and comedies, as well as appearing in the Nativity series of films. Some Downton Abbey talent also play naval roles. Hugh Bonneville pops up as the air warfare officer. He's obviously the main face of Downton, but he appeared in lots of other TV and film projects, including the Paddington films and 2012. Brendan Coyle plays a leading seaman, but I've struggled to find where he appears. He is now best known for playing the Earl of Grantham's valet, who, interestingly, is played by Bonneville. It is also interesting to note that Julian Fellowes, the creator, producer and writer of Downton Abbey, shows up briefly as the Minister of Defence. Sticking with the Tomorrow Never Dies theme, and by no means an actor early in his career, but there is a nice appearance by Geoffrey Palmer as Admiral Roebuck, who co-starred with Judi Dench as her husband in As Time Goes By, something that was still running at the time of the film's release. This gives an added dimension to Roebuck's run-ins with M. Tobias Menzies appeared in Casino Royale as M's assistant Villiers, a role not dissimilar to that of Tanner. Just like Dance, he would go on to appear in Game of Thrones, albeit in the lesser role of Edmure Tully, and then to a role that would lead to some award success as Prince Philip in The Crown. Another star of Game of Thrones, Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter Una Chaplin, has a small role in Craig's next outing, Quantum of Solace, as the Pulla de las Dunas receptionist who gets attacked by General Medrano. Also making an appearance in Quantum is David Harbour as CIA Section Chief Gregory Beam. He would go on to take on the role of Hellboy, as well as join the MCU in Black Widow, but he's best known for playing Jim Hopper in Stranger Things. A number of well-known figures from the comedy world have popped up in Bond films as well. One that completely passed me by until recently was Mark Heap's appearance in Octopussy as the fire juggler. This was his first credited appearance and has since gone on to become a household name thanks to comedy series such as Spaced, Green Wing, and most recently as Jim in Friday Night Dinner. Stand-up Omid Jalili shows up in The World Is Not Enough as a foreman who's not happy with the lecturer's decision to reroute the pipeline. He's gone on to play small roles in a number of films, as well as regularly appearing on panel shows. Daisy Beaumont also appears as one of Valentine's girls in the casino. Better known in the UK, she's starred in comedy series including Star Stories and A Touch of Cloth. The Ocean Sky receptionist in Quantum of Solace is played by Sarah Hadland, who has again appeared in a lot of shows before and since, but is probably best known for playing Stevie in Miranda. The late Paul Ritter also shows up as Guy Haynes, a high-ranking member of Quantum. Although better known for his drama series, he'd go on to star in the very popular sitcom Friday Night Dinner, as well as the critically acclaimed Chernobyl, before his untimely death in 2021. Most recently, the well-known Hugh Dennis shows up in No Time to Die as a scientist in the secret MI6 lab. Many felt his appearance was a bit jarring and took him out of the film due to being so well known, with Outnumbered being his most popular show, alongside being a regular panellist on Mock the Week. Javone Prince stars as the MI6 security guard who takes Bond's name. Those in the UK will know him best as one of the stars of Phone Shop, but he has made appearances in Paddington 2 and Cruella. If you do know of any I haven't covered, please pop them in the comments.